Hello everyone, this is the Lost Boy, and thanks for clicking on this video. The first item up this week is the internet-breaking Twitch stream that was broadcast on March 15th, which featured Ninja, Fortnite's biggest streamer, hanging out and popping some Fortnite caps with Drake, the world's favorite Muppet-looking rapper. The stream peaked at over 680,000 viewers, nearly doubling the next best record for a non-tournament stream, and totaling more than half of Twitch's all-time viewer record for an esports tournament. For anyone paying attention, this probably isn't too surprising, although those numbers can't help but impress. For anyone not paying attention, this is probably pretty eye-opening and should serve as an indicator that game streaming is here to stay. Another thing I wanted to mention is that Season 3 of a show called Billions just debuted on Showtime, and if you haven't checked it out yet, you really ought to. Paul Giamatti heads up a very solid cast of performers as a brilliant and ruthless U.S. attorney with a particular dislike of those who are wealthy enough to believe themselves above the law. The show is dark and gritty enough to fit right in on Showtime, and it's probably not for youngsters or the faint of heart, but otherwise, I'd say if you take a gander, you'll probably get sucked in just like I did. Now, on to this week's main topic. Sea of Thieves launched exactly 1 week ago at the time of this recording. Sea of Thieves is a highly anticipated Xbox exclusive in a world nearly devoid of such things. PS4 is definitely far ahead at this point in terms of exclusive titles, and although the release of the Xbox One X gave Microsoft's console sales a shot in the arm, we all know that selling consoles is about where the games are. I may be overstating this, but I think this debacle of a launch could be a huge missed opportunity for Microsoft to actually gain some ground during what's left of this console generation. Basically, the fact that a brand new Sea of Thieves, among many other titles, would be available via Xbox's Game Pass subscription on release day all but guaranteed that nearly every Game Pass subscriber would be trying it out as soon as possible. This in itself is a good thing. However, it seems that there was a problem anticipating the attach rate for Sea of Thieves at release. It's standard practice to use pre-orders and other similar indicators as a measuring stick when deciding how many games to print for a release, as well as other things such as anticipating how many servers and other resources will be needed to support the game's ecosystem when it releases. I'm pretty sure that the Game Pass thing will have thrown all those predictions totally out of whack. For one thing, a lot more people will likely try Sea of Thieves within the first week or two of release than would have without the Game Pass factor. For another, just imagine how many people who would have pre-ordered decided not to because they subscribed to Game Pass, which would make a pre-order a waste of money. So, how do you predict your launch numbers, and therefore, how do you plan your launch resources appropriately in this type of situation? The answer, apparently, is that you don't. Since the launch, there have been reports of nearly every kind of issue known to gaming, the largest of which likely being the periods when players were actually being prevented from joining games. This is just about the worst thing that could happen during the release of a hotly anticipated Xbox exclusive title. On March 20th, the day of the game's release, the official Sea of Thieves Twitter account tweeted the following: "In order to resolve the issues players are seeing with the servers, we will temporarily be suspending new players joining the game. We'll get everyone back in and playing as quickly as we can." Again, I feel like the lost potential here could be monumental. Imagine a Sea of Thieves release where, and I know this is crazy, but bear with me, where the game actually just worked pretty much how it was supposed to. From what I hear, when the game works, it's actually pretty decent, but that may not matter once the word gets around that Sea of Thieves is broken. The difference between a robust release and what we were given is just huge in terms of word of mouth for or against Xbox and its services. In the overall scheme, this may not seem that significant, but in a way, it feels like death by 1,000 small cuts when Microsoft just keeps stumbling like this over and over. This isn't even the only example in recent memory. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds took the gaming world by storm when it launched late last year on PC, and Xbox fans were overjoyed to hear that not only would PUBG be coming to Xbox, it would be coming as an exclusive, at least for the time being. After PUBG launched on Xbox, the consensus turned out to be that the only Xbox system that PUBG ran well on was the newly released Xbox One X, and that the original Xbox One and the S model couldn't really run PUBG very smoothly. It just seems like 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. between Sony and Microsoft at this point. From a value perspective, Xbox is far and away the best value, but it seems as if the added value of cross-platform play and play anywhere and so on is just a blatant attempt to curry favor with an audience whose attention has already been lost. If consumers only have examples like PUBG and Sea of Thieves to remember, it sure doesn't seem surprising that Sony is dominating, and it's likely that unless Microsoft can cut out its error-prone tendencies, there's no reason to believe that this will change anytime soon. I'd love to know your thoughts and feelings on today's topics. As always, leave your opinions in the comments section, and if you enjoyed this video or agreed with what I said, a click of the like button would help out a bunch. If you're new to the channel and would like to see more videos, feel free to subscribe, and thanks so much for watching. Always remember your happy thought, and I'll see you next time.